I lose my breath whenever I see you. You stole my heart, what is it that you do? My life was great till you added colors.
TV. Hello. Hello, Ivan. Hello naman dyan, nephew. How do you make decisions together? That's a good one.
That is a good one.
That's a good one.
Because sometimes you make your own decision. But you know the thing is, guys, even though if you all make individual decisions, and you're supposed to do that.
Yeah.
You know, it's not everything needs to be
together.
You know, there's times where when I'm not around, she has to make that call.
Mm-hmm.
And if it's a good or bad decision, that's what you have to live with, right? You learn from it, right? You don't make the same mistake.
Mm-hmm.
Like, oh, I made that bad decision. Let's not do that again.
Mm-hmm.
You know, let's remind each other that hey, we made a bad decision or a bad call that time. So, you know, be ready for that. You know, it's okay to make individual decisions. That's your own individual right? The marriage is not slavery, right?
Yeah.
You know,
there are days you have to make your own.
You have to make your own decision, but when you do make your decision, make sure you're not just thinking about yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Remember, you're in a marriage.
Together.
You're together. You're
one
a unit.
Yeah.
You know, even if you do make those individual decisions, just think about the repercussions, right? If I do this,
what would you feel?
Especially with her when I buy high value items. When I make that decision to buy it, I'm gonna hear it, but I need to make sure that I have some kind of justification behind it, because this girl won't let it go. You know, she's like, why did you do that? And I was like, let me tell you why.
Let me tell you why.
I didn't just do it.
He needs to justify it.
I didn't do it by impulse, and even though it is somewhat by impulse, you know, I've learned how to tell my wife, like, hey, I did this because of this. But if I came here because I want to, then you're not respecting your wife's her wants and needs as well, right? So you're not respecting her by telling her, oh, because I want to, and it's my money, which is not really your money, it's both your money. You know, I know there's
I never heard that from Don.
I know there's some couples out there that
separate their money.
That separate their money and say your money is your money,
my money's my money. Yeah.
But with
from the beginning.
Now with my wife and I, it's my money is
my money,
and her money is her money. Wait, no, that's not the right. Don't do that. But it's our money. You know.
From the beginning, we're like that.
She don't even have to ask me anything. Like if there's a family emergency and they need money or whatever, I don't even question or even say why'd you do it. I'm just like,
she never
just
questioned.
do what you need to do.
Mm-hmm.
You know, she only questions when I buy high value items.
Yes.
That are
like
wants.
Camera that we don't even need because he already have one. But you know.
But you need to upgrade.
See?
So you have to justify that.
See, you have to justify. You have to convince me first. You have to
upgrade it because I'm just gonna do real quick. Cameras only can shoot for so long, right?
Okay, question.
Go back to the question.
Focus.
I know I digress, but see stuff like that. You know, you're gonna have to deal with together when you make decisions.
Yeah. So he's right. He never questioned me about, you know, like if I help family back home, he never questioned me. He never tell me, why are you helping them or whatever.
No.
Yeah, he never said no. From the beginning, even before we got married, he never. And before we got married, we're already joined our money, our funds, and we don't have separate accounts. And I love that about Don because he's not stingy. He shares his blessing. We're always open to, you know, helping our family.
Money's just money.
Money's that's our thing. Money is just money. We will earn it tomorrow.
I can't take it with me when I die.
Exactly. We will earn it
I can die tomorrow.
Yeah, but we cannot take back that time when somebody's needing our help and we don't help them.
So that's part of that's how we decide things.
Yeah.
We there's times where we have to wait and decide together, but then there's times where, like I said, we have to do it individually, make that call, and then if it's a bad one, then hey, we learn from it, as long as we don't repeat it. So I hope that answers your question, Instaba.
Yeah, Ivan, that was a good question though, Ivan. Kudos to my nephew. And last but not the least, Pretty Minds. Hello, Sissy, my super supportive sister, Pretty Minds. She's asking to share tips on how to, maintain a healthy marriage. It kind of like ties in with everything that we just said earlier. Main thing is respect, trust, and communication.
Have patience.
Yeah.
I have a lot to spare, and even for my wife, I give her some of my patience.
Especially if your spouse is like me.
Yes.
Don't agree.
I think I hold about 90% of the shares in patience.
That is true.
My wife has 10%, and sometimes I get lucky. Sometimes the things I know she's gonna be mad about, she just kind of brushes it off, like okay. And then when she gives me that look, I'm like, I'm not gonna pay for that, right? Eventually.
That is true.
Probably not now, but later. But to me, patience is a good thing.
Yeah, good to have.
At least one of you. At least. You
Good
can't,
to have. You can't be like impatient both.
and it can't just be 0 patience and 100% patience for one person. At least in our relationship, I have 90% of it and she has 10. So that's more than I can ask for. Right? 10% is good than 0.
But yeah, so I hope we answers all your questions.
Oh wait, I got one more tip.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. For me, one is patience. That's in a relationship, and then for the second thing, a tip is to try to be. It goes with evolving in your relationship, but try to be spontaneous.
Yeah.
If you just do the same thing over and over,
It gets boring.
and then that's what will drive you guys away. Sometimes I surprise her with doing things, and she'll be like, "Whoa!"
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, but from the beginning, we're very spontaneous though.
Yes.
From the beginning, we're both very adventurous, and luckily we both like things that we like.
We have similar.
We have similar interests. We have, we both love to do similar sports, or like mga trips namin sa buhay.
Outdoor stuff.
Yeah, outdoor. We're very outdoor.
Like one day she's like, "Hey, let's go camping, right?" And I was like, "Okay." And then I was like, "Well, we gotta go buy some stuff. But let's do it."
Yeah. But bottom line is, just venture out, be spontaneous. Don't do the same thing over and over. It gets boring, and always find different things that would make your relationship fun, I guess, right? So.
And then one more tip for me is don't dwell in the past. Don't look for all the bad things in your spouse, because that's all. If you're only looking for that, that's all you're gonna see.
Yeah.
But also remember all the good. All the good. I guarantee you outweighs all the bad that's happened in your life.
And then that's true, right? And one thing for me is be forgiving, right?
Yes.
Be
Forgiveness.
always be ready to forgive. And when you forgive, it's either there's only two things. It's either you're gonna completely forgive your spouse and forget everything. Yes, I get it. Once in a while, it'll come back. Like for example, I'm talking about those spouses that are having issues, having problem with their marriage, right? It's either you're gonna completely forgive them or get out of it, because there's nothing in between.
Yeah, and like we're not perfect. I mean, we've had some bad times, and what's really surprising me about well, not surprising, but who she's really getting good at is she forgiving me for a lot of things. And before, earlier in her marriage, she would never let me forget anything.
Yeah.
She'd bring it up, you know.
Yeah. A
You
lot.
you hear stuff I've done like 5 years ago, and I was like, you said you forgive me for that, right? That was back then. And I think when she realized, well, yeah, really, I shouldn't bring it up. So, I thought you forgave me for that. Now why are you bringing it back in my face? And I tell her, like, why are you shoving it back in my face? And then she's like, well, I don't forget. It's like, it's okay. I understand. Don't forget, but don't shove it in my face. And when you say you forgave me,
Yeah.
and then she's really been good at that.
I learned how to forgive
I'm
and
like,
forget.
Sometimes I'm like, are you okay?
Like, because if you don't forget, if you keep bringing it up, you're the one that will get hurt. You'll hurt yourself.
You'll never get past it.
You will never get past it. So it's, to me, prayers and forgiveness and totally forget, because
And the good you do now in the present,
yeah,
because it's good to remember all the good things in the past, but don't dwell on
don't dwell
bad
on the
things.
past. Yeah,
Don't dwell on the bad things, because then that's just like, you're not gonna go anywhere.
true. So yeah, unconditional love, I guess, right?
Yeah. As long as you buy me, you know, like nice.
Hey, that is
But-
not unconditional,
Oh, that's not
because you said
unconditional?
as long as
Just get me that $500 spear gun.
oh my gosh, that is behind the scene. That conversation will continue outside.
Hey, but I do pay for it back. You get all the fish. You know how
But
expensive fish is nowadays?
that's true.
And lobster.
That's true, guys. So yes, for those, let's give tips to those people who are going through a lot of issues in their marriage, like a lot of, you know,
Financial.
not only financial, but financial or like trust issue and stuff. So I'm the finance girl, so I'm gonna give you tips about
Okay,
financial.
I wanna hear
Okay,
this one.
so
See if it works on me.
if you guys are the type of couple that's always struggling about finances, like for example, you know, like you live paycheck to paycheck, I would recommend to really sit down and talk about the issue, because if you don't do it right now, you're gonna find yourself in a deeper trouble. So in the beginning of a relationship, we had this issue, right? Because in the beginning of a relationship, I'm not handling the finances, so I told Don that we have to sit down and figure out what we need to do. So I took over the finances, and I got myself a second job, and then within 1 year we settled our it's actually not our, it's only his debt, because guys, when we got before we got married, I don't know what credit card is. I'm just kidding. I know what credit card is. What I mean is I don't use credit card. I go by cash basis. I spend only what I have. And then so I said, I don't, if you want to level up our relationship, I want to get out of this debt and then move on with our relationship. We sat down and we talked about how are we gonna resolve it, and then I came up with the decision to take over the finances, and this is what we're gonna do. And so I implement my method, and it worked. After 1 year, we're out of debt, and that's when we level up our relationship, right? So that's when we're like, okay, we're good with our finances, we can get married now, because we don't want to like go into marriage with debt. So my recommendation is sit down with your spouse, talk about, lay it out on the table what you need to pay, and eliminate those habits you don't need. Like for example, you like to go swing by Starbucks every morning. If you buy like a cup of coffee or a couple of cup of coffee in one day, that will add up in 1 year. So eliminate those unnecessary things and save those money.
Listen, I mean, one of the greatest stressors in a marriage is finances, and that's one of the biggest. That's one issue that causes a marriage to decline,
Break, yeah.
or even break, right? So finances, it's not always perfect, but do
You
your
have,
best.
yeah. So if you guys are a couple that are having trust issues or like going through somebody's cheating or something, first, my suggestion is first ask yourself, how did you guys get to that? Because it's so easy to blame it on your spouse, but it's hard to see that the problem is also coming from yourself. So maybe your spouse is doing that because you change. That is always a good thing to do, to ask yourself first, why did we get to this? And then of course get resolution. If you need to go to counseling,
Yes.
you are dealing with issues, you need help, so go seek professional help. So it will help you guys.
But, I hope that answers your question, and I hope I gave you some good answers, some good tips. So good luck. It doesn't always work for everybody, but hey, as long as you keep trying in your relationship, then you know your spouse will see that you're even trying, and
Yes.
that's what's gonna keep you guys closer. So peace out for me.
Compromise, guys, right? Compromise. You don't always get your way, so always talk about it and get a resolution and make the best decision that will work for you guys, and that your marriage will benefit from it. Peace out from the cruises. Thank you guys again for sending those questions, and I hope, or we hope, that we help other people out there. Thank you again guys for tuning in, and bye guys, we love you and see you next time. Mwah.
I want you for myself every single day. You say